Ah, Disneyland Paris, where dreams come true and everything comes to life. Wait, why does it sound so familiar? Wait, am I turning? Oh, this is part 2. New intro. Walt Disney Studios. There you go. Where dreams meet action and collide with Hollywood. The moment you step in, you're not just a tourist. You are a star. The studio are a world of their own, with more movie magic than the magicians had, and more green screen than a leprechaun fashion show. Our very first station, the Marvel Studios Park. By the way, we're still using the same exact ad for these sessions, so I'm gonna cut straight to the chase. And also, if you haven't, do check out part 1 or park 1. Get it? Never mind. Also, my mom and I were kinda under the weather during that day, so we didn't really cover up that much, but we still got a lot to show. Now, back to the station. We've been following this Marvel Cinematic Universe for more than a decade now, and it is still counting. The very first ride that we're heading to is the Spider-Man Web Adventure. The queue was extremely long, but as we queue up, we couldn't help but feel the anticipation building because we're about to become a member of Spider-Man Elite Squad. That's awesome. We were required to put on 3D glasses, as you can see in the video, and we were throwing our hands out there like a true web slinger. To be honest, it's a great workout for your hand, but it's kind of tiring. So all in all, it's a great experience. And here, my mom got the best score out of the 4 people in the ride, including me. So I told her after that, "You used to kung fu my ass when we were young, so no surprise out there." Next up, we're gonna suit up and meet the Earth's mightiest heroes, Avengers. This ride, Avengers Assemble Flight Force, it's like being drafted into the Avengers, but without a fitness test or the need to look good in spandex. While waiting in line, we were greeted by none other than Iron Man, and we're surrounded by fellow recruits, so everybody got their game face on, and of course my mom was waiting in line. And the reason why I said that is, this ride is a high-speed roller coaster ride, and my mom couldn't take another roller coaster ride, let alone a high speed with 360 turns. So just enjoy this short clip for a second. On our way to lunch, we saw this magnificent building, the Tower of Terror. Understood that it's a haunted house on steroids? Yeah, no. My mom couldn't take it, a weak poo-poo couldn't take it, and spoiler alert, I heard there's a huge drop at the end, so pass. While moving on, we saw this Toy Story parachute drop. It's a big giant slap to your face of how many times can we make you feel like you have forgotten about how gravity works. You go up and it shoots you back down for a couple times, and of course we didn't end up doing it because of Mama. I didn't manage to film anything in a Stark restaurant, but lunch was pretty cool. We got to meet the Hulkbuster. The food was really nice, and fast forward to the next scene. We line up for a Mickey Mouse magic show. It's a musical show where you get to see different kinds of characters pop out and start singing. I couldn't really say much on the show because most of it is in French, but regardless, the visual and the singing were just top notch.
You can run from it or learn from it. Suis le cœur affecté, il connaît le chemin. Le chemin? Tu reçois le prix. Où tout apprend. N'aie pas peur, Mickey.
Next up, Crush Coaster. It's like a wild underwater disco party thrown by the Surfer Turtle. It's a high speed, spinning and turning like a hurricane roller coaster ride. So obviously my mom said no to it. I had to go as a single rider. But here's the funny thing. I sat right next to a kid and I was wearing my hat, and there was a sign before the ride, and that sign specifically said that no phone and take off your hat. But I completely forget about that. So in the midst of the ride, my hat flew off. I'm like, holy mama cow. The vessel was spinning, turning, 360, all kinds of different things. So I thought like, alright, there goes my favorite hat. And the ride ends. I swear to God, my hat flew straight into the kid's face. And the reason why I say that is because it fell straight on his lap. And there's no way with all that momentum it would fall so gracefully on his lap. I guarantee you there was a slap to his face by my head for sure, so sorry kid, it was not intended. Later on, we were greeted by Mr. I Am Speed, Lightning McQueen. We stopped by at Ratatouille's shop before the ride. We got some pretty cool looking plates, some cooking utensil, and we headed straight to the ride. Now, the Ratatouille ride, where we shrink down to the size of a mouse and navigate a kitchen like a culinary ninja, is like a cooking show on steroids. Probably more twists and turns than a Gordon Ramsay show. We met Chef Gusteau along the way, and Remy, our tiny little chef, who offered his culinary wisdom throughout the waiting line. Once we boarded on the Red Mobile, we were off on a wild journey through the kitchen with the grace of a master chef contestant and the speed of a sugar-filled squirrel. This is another one as Cinderella, RC Racer. It's like a wild ride on a remote control car that's been juiced up with more horsepower than a herd of stampeding elephants. As you can see, once you boarded on the RC car, you were catapulted into a heart-pounding action. It's like a roller coaster ride on a trampoline. Later on, we just had our dinner at Ratatouille restaurant, cooked by our one and only Remy. By the way, you gotta ensure you book a table beforehand, like way beforehand, because it gets packed really fast. So kudos to my cousin for doing that. First time trying the famous Ratatouille, so bon appetit. My mom and I left the hotel after this, so we didn't really get the chance to see the firework at the end at the Walt Disney Studio Park, but my cousin managed to film the ending for us, so which is pretty awesome.
À toutes les recrues, merci pour vos efforts héroïques d'aujourd'hui.
And that's about it. Again, if you like the video, do hit the subscribe button and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.